Hello? Hey, webcam, where you at? Webcam, you working? Hello? Hey, webcam, where you at? Webcam, you working? Hello? Hey, webcam, where you at? Webcam, you working? Hello? Hey, webcam, where you at? Webcam, you working? Yay, it's working. Alright, YouTube Live, what's up? Never done this before. I would have assumed that the built-in webcam would have done this, but it didn't work. So I watched a couple tutorials and went through a few tutorials. I found OBS software and downloaded that and installed it, and it appears to be working now. So I'm just going to verify something. Perfect. It appears to be streaming correctly. I don't expect a ton of people to tune into this, but it's something that I want to do. So if you're watching this later, social media is all about directing attention to ourselves. It's all about trying to get people to look at us. And we want to show the world a finely crafted, finely curated image of how cool and awesome we are. And in reality, there's a lot of people in our communities who are having a really hard time, who are going through some very difficult challenges. So I have felt compelled to start doing this on Friday mornings, where I attempt to take people who I find throughout the week and try to direct some attention to them to see if we can help them. So it makes sense on a Friday to call it Forward Friday. We have Follow Friday, has been around for a long time on Twitter. And it's all about, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. And there's people, like I said, who have some real challenges and real needs in their lives. So this particular one is, if you look down in the link below, it's for a girl in Albuquerque. I used to live in Albuquerque, and I keep tabs on their news websites every so often. Just because a lot of my family still lives there, and I like to see, what's going on in the city and different things. And KOB.com featured a very moving story about a girl named Vanessa Mendoza, who is a former Albuquerque High cheerleader, and she was severely injured in a car accident over a year ago. And her family is currently trying to raise money to help with her rehab and her continued recovery. It's been over a year since the accident. So I found this, I found the link, and I've been following the campaign for a few days now. And in 25 days, they had raised only $420 of a $20,000 goal. And the way that I understand GoFundMe is that your campaign does not reach the visible search results on their site until you surpass the $500 goal. So I went there this morning. I kicked in $100 to get it above that $500 goal, hopefully giving them some exposure in the GoFundMe campaign search results. The other reason this particular one's important to me is I am a former Albuquerque High student. I graduated there in the late 90s, which is interesting because this girl, Vanessa, wasn't even born when I graduated, which is always weird to realize how old you are and how quickly time moves. So I thought, you know, a fellow Bulldog, supporting another Albuquerque High Bulldog, and trying to just help that community out. So, like I said, I don't expect there to be really any viewers because I only have 31 subscribers. It says there's one watching now. Hey, that's great. Don't know who that is. But if you go down to the link below in the description, you'll see the link to the GoFundMe. And I just wanted to, I'm hoping that we can do this to bring some attention. I'm going to do this on Fridays, try to do this on Fridays before my day gets too busy. It's 8:37 Eastern time right now, so I have until about 9 this morning. This could end up being a very boring video if you're watching this later, if I can actually figure out how to save the recording to my YouTube channel at some point. But like I said, social media is so much geared towards drawing attention to ourselves and trying to present a reality TV kind of style image to the world. And I just think it's not healthy for us. It's detrimental to society at large if we're all trying to clamor to be king of the hill. So I figured taking a Friday morning and trying to direct some attention somewhere else to say, hey, here's a person, or here's some people who actually need some help. It would probably be good for us. It would probably be good for us to be outside of ourselves and not be so turned in all the time on ourselves. So I thought about trying to set this up on Instagram too, and I did a little bit earlier, start a live stream, and again, nobody tuned in. So at least I have one person tuned in here on YouTube, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to just do that again on the Instagram just to update them. And apologies if this comes across as clunky, but this is the first time I've ever live streamed anything, because I couldn't think of a good reason to do it up until trying to point attention to people who need some help. So I'm going to click, let's see here, I'm going to click, how do I do this? I'm going to go, can I live stream again on Instagram? It says watch my live video. Yeah, I already did that. Maybe I can't live stream more than once. And oh wait, there, can't, no? This is so confusing. Is it really confusing, or am I just getting old? Like, that's the thing. That's the question I always ask myself. Like, is this really confusing, or am I just getting old? Photo, video. I don't want that. Maybe stories? No. Camera. There we go. Now, I have the audio muted on my computer, so hopefully it shouldn't start like some infinite feedback loop and like break the entire internet. So I'm going to hit live here. And we're going to see if my Wi-Fi can handle 2 live streams at once. Hey, Instagram, I'm back! You guys are all probably still sleeping. It would be, what, 6:40 Mountain Time, and wow, 5:40 Pacific Time. Time zones are crazy. Anyway, I'm set up on I started a YouTube stream as well of this thing, trying to direct information on a Friday, calling it Forward Friday, trying to get us to take an hour on a Friday morning and take the attention off of ourselves and put it on to people who are in need. The link in my Instagram profile and the link on the YouTube live stream is to try to direct some money and some help towards a girl named Vanessa Mendoza, who is a former Albuquerque High cheerleader who was in a very bad car accident over a year ago, and her family is trying to raise $20,000 to help with her recovery. So as I said earlier, the way I understand GoFundMe is that if your campaign is under $500, then it doesn't appear in the search results of their site. So it has to be Facebook verified and over $500. So I went over there this morning, kicked in $100 to get it from $420 to $520. Hopefully that will give them some more exposure on the on GoFundMe's search engine. So This would probably be more exciting if there was actually people like chatting and asking questions. Hey, one YouTube person, do you want to ask a comment? So yeah, I'm assuming that this will probably take some time to maybe get some people. And I'm not talking about necessarily time today. I'm talking about time in general, like probably several weeks, if not months, to get people sort of thinking in terms of Friday morning being a time to, instead of follow me, pay attention to me, be a time to look at other people and see how we can help other people. I think it's about time to upgrade my Mac, because the fan is starting to sound like a jet engine with this live stream. So it might be time to upgrade. It is 2.5 years old, and I'm not too sure that the processing speed is up to date. So maybe that'll be my Christmas present to myself. I'm going to maybe go to apple.com today. Here I am trying to raise money for other people, and I'm already talking about how to spend it on myself. So there's the link. Vanessa Mendoza, Albuquerque High student. I went to Albuquerque High, so it's close to my heart. Bulldogs helping Bulldogs. As I said on the YouTube stream, I was not even, this girl was not even born when I graduated from Albuquerque High, so that makes me feel old. I'm going to try something here. I'm sure this will probably not reap many rewards either. People ask me how how do you be an entrepreneur, and how do you start things, and how do you stick with things? And the little secret that not many people know is really, really low expectations. Your expectations have to be in the basement in order to have the resolve to continue with things when there's 0 people watching your Instagram and 1 creeper who won't even leave a comment on YouTube. So yeah, you have to have really, really low expectations. And so I did this not because I thought that there'd be a lot of people watching. I did this because I really feel like we need to take attention off of ourselves and try to direct it towards people who are actually in need. Like I mean, yeah, sure, needs. Okay, I got needs. Yeah, but not really when you compare it to a 17-year-old who's paralyzed in a car accident and is trying to raise money for, recovery efforts, medical recovery efforts, and physical therapy. Like, I don't have needs, So, I think if we can take an hour on a Friday morning and sort of cultivate that thought, it might be good for. I know it's going to be good for me. So even if nobody pays attention, it's going to be fine. It's going to be good for me and my soul, and hopefully a good example for my kids to not just be attention magnets, but to say, hey, there's people who have real needs, and they make my needs pale in comparison. And the really sobering thing is when I don't know which camera to look into, YouTube or Instagram. YouTube, Instagram. I'm not too sure which one to look into. Maybe YouTube, because that's going to last longer. I think if I can actually figure out how to save it as a recording of a past live video, probably should look into the YouTube one, because the Instagram one will be gone in 24 hours. So probably YouTube. But the humbling thing is when you start looking at people's needs, there are so many people. Like, you go to GoFundMe and there's so many needs. It's almost paralyzing from that standpoint of from taking action. It's like, how do you pick? I read a news story this morning that they're saying that there's 1.2 million Sudanese on the brink of famine, and they're going to be reliant on UN emergency food supplies in order to subsist and live through the famine season. So, it goes without saying. I mean, it's probably why the hashtag First World Problems, was invented and continues to be a thing to some degree, because we feel how blessed we are in the first world, and we feel how much excess we have, and we try to assuage a little bit of that uncomfortableness by throwing a hashtag on something. So maybe this is a little bit, maybe encouraging people to go a little bit more beyond just a hashtag, maybe, forego that venti or Trenta. I was actually in Starbucks the other day, a few days back, and I heard this guy he came in and he said, "There's actually a size bigger than a venti, right?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's called a Trenta." And he was like, "I want the Trenta, blah, 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 blah." And he rattled off probably like 1,800 calories. And I thought, wow, we really do have excess here. And so we would be discontented if we could only afford a tall. This guy, when we want the Trenta. So really, America and first world. I'll just say excess. I mean, it's there's a lot of excess. And yay, Legacy Athletics joined. If your child is in sports in the Tampa area, please check out Legacy Athletics. Great strength training, great conditioning. Our oldest son started working with him back in March, and he's increased his vertical 5 inches. He's put on about 18 pounds, and his strength has gone up. So hey, Legacy Athletics. If you're wondering, Mario, what I'm doing here, it's just a Friday morning. We have Follow Friday and different things like that. I wanted to take a Friday morning and try to say, let's forward some love onto people. So I included a link in my profile to a girl who I came across from Albuquerque, where I used to live. She went to the same high school that I did, and she was in a car accident a year ago and is paralyzed, and her family's trying to raise money for rehab and different things. So you can check out that link in my profile. I'm also streaming live on YouTube to one person who still hasn't left a comment. Hey, thank you. Love what you're doing too. Thanks for working with my son. And I've told you this directly, but working physically has also translated to the classroom. So having the discipline to exercise and adhere to a regimen there has positively translated to the classroom. So Tampa area parents, another reason to check out Legacy Athletics for that. Anyway, this girl's paralyzed. She was a senior in high school. I mean, as I said a few times already, she wasn't even born when I graduated high school. But a lot of my family still lives in Albuquerque, and I keep tabs on some of the news sites there because my family's there, and I came across this story a few days ago, and I just was moved by, wow, a former Albuquerque High Bulldog, a fellow Albuquerque High Bulldog student in some serious need. So if you want to go check out that link, great. If you want to spread the word, great. Keep up the good work there. Senior love it. Anyway, so back to the issue at hand. I mean, our whole culture is just focused on look at me, look at me, look at me. We're trying to catch some amazing viral clip, and I see it even with my kids. We drive around and we came across a car accident, and instantly my second son went to pull out his phone, and I said, dude, put it away. Like, I mean, we don't know. Like, you don't want to try to capitalize or Snapchat somebody else's misery or somebody else's pain. We can't think in those terms. We can't think in terms of pure opportunism to say, hey, here's a tragedy, and I'm going to capture this on my Snapchat and hope that it goes viral, so that I might end up on YouTube or something, or end up on CNN or Fox. We can't think in those terms. Like, and then we found out later that it was actually a horrible story. A mother was crossing the street and she got hit by a car with her 2 little kids. And so, I mean, we really need to get out of this mentality as a culture that technology exists to capture people failing. And I have this conversation with my kids all the time about, the fail videos on YouTube have millions and millions and millions of views. And I won't let our kids watch fail videos. I really challenge them on that and say, we really don't want to get in the habit of glorying and being entertained by other people's failures. One, because it's just lame. And two, I think it wires in us a fear to try stuff. Because we go, oh, well, what if I get caught failing? Well, that's how you learn. I mean, the famous example is Thomas Edison. It took him 10,000 tries to get the light bulb working. Well, if everybody would have been, broadcasting all of his failures, maybe he would have given up. Maybe he would have heard all that chatter and all that naysaying and all the haters, and he would have said, you know what, after the 100th fail or the 1000th fail, this isn't going to work. And now there's billions, literally billions of people around the world who have their lives bettered because he didn't. He just kept failing. He kept trying. He kept learning. So I think that's kind of why I'm doing this as well. for my kids to see, look, let's use technology for positive things. Let's use technology to try to help people who are really in need, not just constantly be using it to broadcast our own stuff. And I get that. I mean, it's part of the world we live in. You know, I mean, there's the book Revolutionary Wealth that talks about prosumers, people who produce and consume at the same time. And technology has allowed millions of us to do that. And that's what I do. I produce plugins. I produce software for sale. And a lot of my content is centered around promoting that. And I get that. But we should be able to take some time, an hour on a Friday, 30 minutes on a Friday, and say, hey, let's stop pushing. Let's stop promoting. Let's stop doing all that stuff, and let's try to turn our eyes outside to other people in need. So I'm going to just run this thing until 9 o'clock because I'm sure that'll be enough chatter, and then maybe log back in a little bit later just to see where things are at. Let's go look at our page. Update. Okay, there. So finally updated with that one. So GoFundMe doesn't seem to be real time because it took about 5 minutes for the donation that I kicked over to refresh and show up in her total. It does now say that the campaign's trending. I don't know if that means anything. That could just be a gimmick. I don't know, but I'm going to leave her a quick comment. You know GoFundMe, I would promote that on Facebook if I was on Facebook, but I quit Facebook in 2009. Why do you keep... I don't understand. I don't want to... I can't log into Facebook. I can't leave a comment unless I'm logged into Facebook. This doesn't let... Yeah, I don't have a Facebook account, so I'm not too sure what to tell you, GoFundMe. Don't know what to tell you. I just want to leave a comment. Alright, let's try to type. Okay, there we go. Greetings. I don't know how to make this not sound creepy. Greetings from Florida. I grew up in ABQ and have lots of family still living there. I came across your story on KOB.com a few days ago and felt compelled to help. I graduated ABQ High I look like Bob Dole with my arm up here. I need a pencil. I graduated ABQ High in the late 90s. So wanted to help support a fellow Bulldog. Yeah, cool. Our family is praying for yours and doing our best to help spread the word about this particular need. God bless. It's fair enough. Fair enough. Straightforward, honest. And we're going to post that. There was an error posting because I have to log into Facebook. Man, GoFundMe, why? Why? I'm logged into GoFundMe, so why can't I just post? Traveler6! What's up, Traveler6? I hope San Diego's treating you well. You're officially the second person to join this Instagram stream, and I'll give you the brief recap. Friday mornings, I felt compelled to do something called Forward Friday. Social media is geared towards sucking attention to ourselves and promoting our own crap, which I'm guilty of. And understandable. I mean, we all have businesses. We all use it to market and different things. It's the world we live in. But I figured on a Friday morning for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, I can ramble into my webcam and phone cam for 30 minutes to, 3 people or some crickets and try to direct some attention to people who actually have real needs. Hey, good. I'm glad you're cracking up. So there's a link in my Instagram profile to a girl named Vanessa Mendoza who went to Albuquerque High School, where I went. She wasn't born when I graduated, so that gives you an idea of how old I am. and I think the camera adds 10 pounds as well as several wrinkles. Anyway, she is a cheerleader. She was a senior. She was in a serious car accident and has been paralyzed for over a year, and her family's trying to raise $20,000 to help with rehab. So I came across her story a few days ago, and in like 20-some days, the campaign had raised $420 with 5 people. And the way I understand GoFundMe to work is that you have to be above a $500 threshold in order to get your campaign to show up in the search results. So that's what we're trying to do. It's actually, I did that, went and gave $100, and it's above the $500 threshold now. So anything beyond that that we can do is gravy. As I said earlier, in order to start new things, try new things, you have to have really, really low expectations. And that's something that Providence has ground into my soul over the years. You can't go into anything with high expectations. You must go in with 0 expectations and then just grind and work. And trust the universe from there. The universe being the Lord God Almighty. I can't post a comment on GoFundMe without their diabolical, evil partnership with Facebook. I don't have a Facebook account. Cynic, I'm a realist. A realist with a joyful heart. Yeah, Facebook has their tentacles everywhere. I can't post a comment to try to encourage this family without having a Facebook account. But I quit Facebook in 2009 because I don't trust Zuckerberg, which would beg the question, well, then why do I continue to use Instagram? And that's a good question, but I don't have a good answer for it because there are parts of my life where I am inconsistent. I'm so offended right now that I can't post a comment without logging in to Facebook. That is so annoying. Yep, I'm logged into GoFundMe. I am logged into GoFundMe. I'm also streaming live on YouTube. Is there more than one person? Oh, nope. That person left. So whoever you were, Russian bot, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. This has got to be one of the most boring videos when you like gets archived. Realist with a joyful account. You should be a politician. That's funny. When you go back to watch like the archive of this on YouTube, I'm sure it's going to be yeah, it's must-watch material. You know what? I was gonna say I should go down to the library and pull up some microfilm and see if they have any LexisNexis posts on how to leave a comment on GoFundMe, but then I just remembered we have Google. So I can stay here in the convenience in space. No one can hear you scream. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true. I actually read an article, I think it was on Popular Science, and it was about whether or not the deaths represented in space in movies were actually realistic. And strangely enough, they said that the most realistic death is the Moonraker death. That good old James Bond flick with Jaws, the guy with the steel teeth that could like bite through tram cables. Anyway, what was his name? Draker? What was his name? Draker? Raker? Moonraker? Drax! I think it was Drax. He was the villain in that movie, and at the end, James Bond hits the button and sucks him out the airlock, and he says some cheesy one-liner like he always does when he dispatches of an opponent. And the Popular Science article said that that death was probably the most realistic because he just and kind of floated away, and you could kind of tell that he still had a little bit of life in his eyes, in total disbelief that James Bond had bettered him. Whereas the others, they gave some other examples. I forget, there was one, Mission to Mars or something like that, where the character, I think Tim Robbins, took off his space helmet and he instantly like froze and crinkled up and decomposed and looked like he'd been a corpse for 15 years. And they said that was not realistic. So no one can hear you scream, and apparently you don't die that violent of a death. You just kind of look like Drax and float away into nothingness. Okay, leave comment on GoFundMe sans Facebook. Okay, didn't like sans Facebook. Just how to leave comment on GoFundMe. Scroll down to the bottom, blah, blah. Click the pencil, edit your comment, and save. That's what I tried to do. How is San Diego there, Mr. Traveler 6? I'm assuming it's Mr. and not Mrs. this morning. I'm assuming it's Mr. If you're even... if you go... Where's the GoFundMe link? Good question. If you go to... you'll probably have to leave the live stream and click on... Get to the main account on my Instagram. And underneath my bio... Burning in the North Country. Nice. So, if you go to my bio on Instagram... you can click. If you're on your laptop, just go to instagram.com/bmuth, and then right there in the profile, you will see the link to the GoFundMe. GoFundMe.com/Vanessa's-medical-future is the link. So somehow, if you can navigate to instagram.com/bmuth, that's the link in my profile right now. I still don't know how to I mean, this is just post. Nope. I've reached the maximum number of comments at this time, but I didn't even leave one. Hey, GoFundMe, if you're listening, you really need to break off your partnership with Daddy B and the OC. How are your libertarian political principles coming along there, sir? I jest, of course. Welcome. I'll give you the quickest recap I can. Friday is all about high five to you as well, sir. Friday's all about, has been about follow, and social media is all about sucking attention to ourselves. I felt compelled on a Friday morning to start trying to forward some of that attention onto other people. There's a link in my profile about a girl in Albuquerque who was in a terrible car accident over a year ago. She's been paralyzed, and her family's trying to raise $20,000 to help with her recovery, physical therapy, and things. The connection is, one, I still have a lot of family in Albuquerque where I grew up, so I pay attention to the news sites, and that's how I came across the story a few days ago. Secondly, she went to Albuquerque High, and as I've said previously to everybody watching, she wasn't born when I graduated Albuquerque High, so I'm very old. But that was another connection there of wanting to help a fellow Bulldog. Albuquerque High Bulldog. Go Bulldogs. Whoop, whoop. So the link's in my profile. That's the reason for this live stream on Instagram, as well as YouTube, where I only had one viewer, and I'm suspecting that it was a Russian bot, would be my guess. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. Hope you guys are doing well. Daddy B in the OC. Do we have 3 libertarians in one place at one time? Traveler 6, I don't think so. I was jesting with Daddy B in the OC. I don't think he's a libertarian. I think he would probably not fall in the traditional vein of being a full-fledged libertarian. But we have 2 of 3, which is not bad. We have 2 of 3 libertarians, 67%. So we do have the majority of the libertarians, which is probably the first time in the history of the country that the libertarians have had the majority in any setting. So we'll take it. We'll take our small victories where we can. So if you want to tweet, if you want to, that's what I was going to do on my iPad. I have so many devices going on now. Oh, he says maybe a libertarian. You know, that's the nice thing about libertarianism is, you know, there's so many common sense things to it that, you know, it's neither end of the spectrum. In fact, I don't even say it's in the middle. I say it's a totally outside of the paradigm, which is a video that I posted on YouTube a few months ago that has a whopping 4 views, looking at how the left left, this way, which way is the camera going? Left and right, is really, they're both just totalitarian philosophies. They're both groupthink, they're both collectivist, and it's really just about who's in power. Whereas I think libertarianism stresses more the individualism versus collectivism, which I think is a pretty good delineating point to make about libertarianism. I'm going to post this on Twitter too. I don't know what to post. Maybe live stream. I'm just going to say doing first Forward Friday live stream, colon, I don't think I need a colon. Okay, so it doesn't capitalize forward, but it does capitalize live stream. Yeah, that's nice. First Forward Friday live stream, attempting to help. Hey, have a good day too. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, whoops, that just went all to the tweet. Live stream. Alright, see ya. I will say hi to the family. I'm about to tune out here anyway because this is going down as this will win a Raspberry Award for live streams. Have a good day. And say hi to your family as well. Peace. First Forward Friday live stream, attempting to raise funds to help an Albuquerque High student. And we're going to do this real quick. ABQ High, find user. Nope. Okay, you do not have, what? Come on, Albuquerque High. Maybe it's ABQ High Bulldogs? What would be your official Twitter? Nope. Alright, now I need to go to Google. Albuquerque High Twitter. Low battery, 20%. Alright, yes, we're going to shut this down quickly. Wow, there's really no... How? Oh, Bulldogs _ AHS. Yeah, because that makes sense. Is that the official one? They tweeted 10 hours ago, so why not? Alright, so it's Bulldogs _ AHS I don't know. Huh. We'll do both. We'll do AHS Bulldogs and we'll do the other one. Bulldogs _ AHS Bulldogs. Live streams are hilarious. It's like just total rambling. Waiting for people to tune in. This must be like telethons. No wonder telethons went the way of the dinosaur. Now I want to go here. Whoops, not there. We're going to go here. And we're going to copy that. And we're going to paste it. I'm going to paste it right there. Thank you, everyone. The few people who have tuned in. I hope that even if you don't give to this girl, I hope that you ponder the fact that our social media society encourages us to try to be attention vacuums, just sucking everything to us, and we're playing some massive global game of King of the Hill, which is not healthy for us. So if anything, even if you don't give, if anything, ponder the thought of taking some attention off of yourself and trying to forward it on to other people who actually have needs. We're going to do this. Maybe I'll even hit KOB. Find user. Do they have KOB TV? KOB4. Boom. First Forward Friday live stream attempting to raise funds to help an AHS. Student in need of trying to raise funds to help it blah 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 student in need of medical funds. You know what? I have yet to break the 140 character, and I think this tweet might have done it. Oh well, it's for a good cause. First Friday live stream attempting to raise funds to help an IHS Bulldog student in need of medical funds. Blah blah blah. Please spread word to fellow Bulldog community. I was at Albuquerque High the year that when Kenny Thomas was there. I don't know if you guys remember Kenny Thomas, All-American basketball player, played for the UNM Lobos, and then had a fairly successful NBA career. I believe he played for the Pistons, the Kings, maybe the Rockets for a season, if I remember right. Anyway, I was homeschooled through 10th grade and then went there 11th grade, and my 11th grade year was the year after he graduated. But his freshman year at UNM, he used to come back to Albuquerque High every now and then and hang out with his former basketball friends during lunch and things. So it was cool to see him, big dude, like 6'9", you know, yeah, just big guy, nice guy. And I read an article on ESPN recently with him, said that he has remained successful. He's managed his finances well, and he has some successful businesses in the Sacramento area, and I believe in the Albuquerque area. So that was an encouraging story. Please spread the word to fellow Bulldog to the fellow Bulldog community, and then we need to link to her. We need to link to her site real quick, and then I'm going to end this thing. Too many things going on. Laptop, iPhone, iPad, BMU, there, get the link. Come on, load. There we go, GoFundMe. Copy. And we're going to say paste. You know what? I never thought I would use... Wait, why do I want that? I don't want that. All right, undo that. Shake. Yay, it works on the iPad too. Need to go here. I'm just going to open it, and then I'll copy it. Because it tagged on some sort of crazy copy. I'm talking to myself, and I don't even think there's anybody listening anymore. Anyway, here we go. Last one. GoFundMe, Vanessa, blah, blah, blah. Great. I love it. Hashtag GoFundMe. To raise funds to help a fellow former, there we go, ABQ student in need of medical funds. Please spread word to fellow Bulldog. Please spread word to the Bulldog community. And then you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to say Bulldog strong. Why not? Bulldog strong. Hopefully that reads Bulldog strong, doesn't spell something else that's weird. You always have to watch that with hashtags. Bulldog. Bulldogs? Bulldog. In Albuquerque, Bulldog. So Bulldog strong. There we go. Tweet. All right, that's done. I think we're done. I had 3 people tune in on Instagram and 1 random Russian bot on YouTube. Like I said, extremely low expectations. We're coming up on 45 minutes, which is longer than I thought, and I do need to get to work. But anyway, yes, in the last 10 seconds, reminder, stop trying to just suck attention to yourself. Focus on other people. And if we can do that more than 1 day a week, great. If not, maybe we can at least carve out a few minutes on a Friday morning to do that. So the first ever Forward Friday stream is done. Have a wonderful day. Have a good weekend. Look to help people in your community instead of just being a attention and need leech. Peace. And I just ended the Instagram, so I'm going to shut this thing down on YouTube as well. Just over 45 minutes. Thanks to the Russian bot for watching. The link will be down here. I'm assuming YouTube will save this thing for future generations, for posterity. There's old words that I like: posterity, apothecary. There's a lot of good old words that are fun. So I'm assuming it will save this on my channel, and if it does, which I hope it will, that link will remain there. So we started with 420 bucks. Hopefully, that thing will get a little bit of traction, and we can move the needle some for this young lady and her family in need. So have a great day. Have a good weekend. I don't know how to end this thing. Maybe I have to go back to the OBS app. Is that what I need to do here? I don't understand why the YouTube would not just do the webcam. All right, I'm going to do this. Now, how do I end? Scene. Stop streaming. There we go. There's the button. OBS. Thanks, OBS 20.1.0. Stop streaming. Bye!